Welcome back to another episode of Last One y Nos Vamos.
Yes, welcome back, guys, to another episode.
Woo, woo, woo. My name is Margarita. You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok as your favorite Margarita.
That's right. You can find me first of all, let me introduce myself. My name's Lorenzo. You can call me Lencho, and you can find me at Rootless Clothing.
Period. How was your day today?
Today was shower day for the doggies.
I know, they smell good. As soon as Coco came in, I was like, she smells good because she was stinky.
It's crazy how Dobermans stink, guys. If you never had a Doberman, prepare for that.
Yeah, because Kobe doesn't even smell like that either. But Coco
smells like dirt. That's all. I
know, but Coco spends a little bit more time in the dirt. Yeah,
she's the stinky one. Who knows why?
She likes to roll around. I went to my first Galentine's Day. Thank you, Jasmine. The Galentine's Day, it's like Valentine's Day, but for the girls. For the girlies, as you can see, I'm wearing pink. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah.
No, I thought it was like a friend's Valentine's.
Yeah, friends.
Or Thanksgiving friend thingy.
Oh, like a Friendsgiving?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so it's so it's all the girlies get together. So let me tell you how. I mean, that was the first time I ever got invited to one, and Cyan went with me too. I'm sure you know that Cyan went with me. Jasmine had. We went to her house. She had like this cute little charcuterie board. She had like a bunch of cute little. Everything was like super cute. Super duper cute. And then, I don't have my little box. Did you take my box?
I moved it, yes.
No, but she's so freaking cute. Once we before we left, she had like these boxes. And I was like, oh, maybe, venían cookies or something in it. No, it was like a party favor, I guess you can say. It was like this cute little box. You saw it, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this cute little pink box. And then she put candy in it. Just a cute little touch. I want to do that. What?
What did you call that?
The box?
Yeah.
Party favor?
Never heard of that.
I guess you can call it a party favor.
Never heard of that. But yeah. I guess the simplest way that you guys can think about it, cuando les daban dulces en elementary, hombre, ¿por qué lo haces tan duro?
Which reminds me, like the times that we would have like Valentine's Day at school.
Mm-hmm. We had the good times.
We did. I think it was cute.
I think I heard that ya no pueden hacer mucho.
They can. They still do. They still do the cards. Like you can still do like prepackaged food. Like, but it can't be stuff that like, if you wanted to make if you wanted to make, if you wanted to make cupcakes from home, like you can't do that anymore. It has to be stuff that's packaged.
Oh, I thought it couldn't be too much sweet stuff, but I guess guess I might be wrong there.
Maybe in some schools, but like the schools that where I used to work at, no, it has to be stuff that's packaged.
Okay.
Yeah. And también me acordé that there was a video that I saw. Ahorita que estamos hablando de Valentine's Day, me estaba acordando de un video que miré where, so this mom, she posted a video on TikTok and she was like, she was recording her son que le estaba reclamando.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to believe que le estaba reclamando el niño.
Que su imaginary girlfriend didn't give him a Valentine's card.
Well, kind of. It has to do with the card. So this boy, he was about like 5 to 7 years old. Y let me tell you lo que le estaba reclamando. Su mamá she wrote a letter, packed his lunch, put a letter, a little cute little note saying, "I love you, babe." Okay, so cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pero you're not going to believe este niño.
Mm-hmm.
He said that le está reclamando a su mamá, le está diciendo, why would you put that? Like, why would you write that?
Mm-hmm.
And then his mom was like kind of confused. Like, what do you mean? Like, why? Like, what's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he pretty much tells her that his little girlfriend was upset.
Makes sense.
She was upset. I was just like...
But it does make sense. Like,
what?
By then, you kind of have your little girlfriends and boyfriends.
Yes, but I'm like, I guess. But still, no, it just threw me off.
I think, that's like the first surprise from a parent, right? When it comes to like girlfriend and boyfriend situation or disque and comillas. But like, well, it was kind of a good reaction, a better reaction because she could have been a jealous mom.
Yeah, true. There are jealous moms. Pero like me pongo a pensar like tan chiquitos y tan tóxicos ya already.
That's a tóxico?
I feel like it is because it's just like, why did you write a note? I'm like, already? Like, you're already, like, ya se están fijando, like, so little as to, like, oh my gosh, how could you be, like, how can somebody else, like, there's no other woman that can love you. That the little girl.
Oh, I'm not like
not
thinking
the
about
mom.
the boy is telling the mom. That's I'm like, what? He's toxico for that?
No, I meant like the little girl,
okay.
how his little girlfriend was like, oh my gosh, like, how dare you?
Así, hay celosas. Ya para ese tiempo, ya hay sentimientos de celos.
I'm like, but like, where do they get this stuff? Like, I'm pretty sure they probably get it from home, but I'm like, ¿de dónde sacan estas cosas? You know?
I think it's just a thing that you go by.
Yeah.
You're like your own self. You're growing and you're learning these things. Or, you know, even parents playing around. You could be like, he's mine, you know, with the little girl, little boy. And pues ahí ya se enteran qué es eso.
Yeah. How do you feel? Like, I mean, since this little couple, like they look like they were 5 to 7 years old. How old do you feel like it's okay to start dating? Like, you don't feel like that's too young?
I don't think that's dating on that age. It's more of like
like they don't really know, right?
Yeah,
like they don't really.
I think if when that situation happens, I'm gonna look at it more of like, oh, it's just a thing for the moment.
Yeah.
Like you're not really looking at it that seriously. I mean, there's sometimes that I hear moms playing around or dads say, I invite the little girlfriend or I invite the little boyfriend, you know? Maybe that's a bad thing to do as well, but I mean, I've heard of it. So I don't think I'm going to call it dating by then. I think dating will come probably by middle school.
By middle school, like real-time middle school. See, but right now that you had mentioned that, like, you don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I did read that, I mean, I don't know, maybe it just depends on, because I don't know, like, do they really fully understand? Because like, what if they break up, like their feelings, like, because that's something that I read, like not to dismiss like their feelings. Like, let's say that the little girl and the little boy were to break up, like, I'm like, are they really going to have that feeling like, oh man, like, are they really going to be heartbroken? Like they can experience heartbreak, right?
Middle school or elementary?
Elementary school. Like I'm talking about the little
elementary,
boys.
Yo nomás me buscaba otra y ya. There were some other ones on the roll.
Player.
Not even player, but I think that's, you kind of, you know, you like a couple of them, vas pa uno, no me hace caso, vas pa el otro. Yeah. Again, because it's more like, kind of not playing around, but it's more like, oh, like I like him. Yeah. And then, but again, I don't really think the feelings are fully there. It's more of like, oh, girlfriend, boyfriend, patty cake, you know, such a thing.
Did you have a little girlfriend when you were in elementary school?
Not like that, pero pues no puedo decir que no me gustaban las girls, you know?
Dang. I didn't. I think I had my first boyfriend when I was in elementary school, but I did like I still had developed those feelings because I did read that, like, okay, you start showing interest, statistically speaking, like you start showing interest when you're like when you start hitting puberty. But I remember when I was little, like I was in first grade, and there was this boy that I was just like, oh my gosh, he's so dreamy. But I mean, I'm just like where, like, how did you have those feelings too?
But that's what I'm saying. You think by then you will feel that heartbreak if you have a heartbreak? I don't really think so, for my opinion.
Actually, you know what? Probably, because I remember that he was dating another little girl and I got jealous. Not jealous. No, okay, not jealous. I think
heartbreak though.
No, I guess it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
I guess it's a different feeling. Okay, so I guess my next question is, I guess I kind of did ask you. Did you answer already? Like how young would, okay, let's say if you were to have a kid, right? How young do you think it's too young to start dating? Or what actually, let me rephrase that. What age do you feel it will be appropriate to allow your child to start dating?
I would say about 7th grade.
7th grade?
Maybe 6, but 7, because depending, again, now, I don't know if in my time 6th grade was still in middle school, and then right now elementaries have 6th grade, so that's why I'm gonna say 7, just to be on the on the safe side. You know, they're away from elementary already.
Why 7th grade though?
You're probably getting more attached to feelings, I'm guessing, as well.
Meaning like they have more feelings now. Like the feelings are different.
Yeah,
the feelings
seriously.
are more
like
are a little bit more
everybody's gonna
different.
know who's your boyfriend and girlfriend now for sure. Like, you know, it's not gonna be a playful thing like elementary that, oh, he likes you or she likes you, and then they start running away.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's say that 13, 14. I'm like, how do I feel about it? See, because
13, 14, cálmate,
not 13,
seventh
14.
grade.
7th grade, well, yeah.
7th grade son 12, 11.
12, 11, 12, 13. See, I'm conflicted about it, okay? Because I would say like, no, like thinking about like the way that I did things.
Ahorita.
Yeah,
adult
ahorita.
Self. You're adult right now.
My adult self, okay.
Right now.
Let's look at it from the adult side, okay? Because at that time, like you really shouldn't have to be focusing on dating, and because I feel like that kind of like derails you from focusing on, you know, on, I don't know, like on your academics, por decir, like that's what you should be focusing on. Maybe like your friends, creating relationships. So I feel like that's something that they should actually be focusing on. I would say maybe once they graduate, like once they start going to college, maybe start dating then. I feel like that's when they would, because by then, like once you're out of high school, technically, like you're already like, okay, I think I'm starting to really figure myself out. I'm starting to know what I really want versus I don't know what I want in the beginning. Maybe you do. And then something that you had mentioned the other day is just like, okay, and this is the other part where I'm like, you know what? Maybe it'll be okay for them to date younger. Because what did you mention yesterday? You were like, well, it depends how they carry themselves.
Yesterday? Okay.
Yes. Do you remember you saying that?
Again, I'm not trying to bring what you just said down, but that sounds to me more of like a perfect world. Well,
not a perfect world, because I'm like looking at, okay, so I want them, because for me, I want them to focus on, you know, their school and growing up and trying to find things that they actually want. Rather than having to worry about, oh my gosh, I need to buy them something for Valentine's Day, or oh my gosh, like I'm going to stop doing this because I'm spending too much time with my boyfriend or girlfriend.
I know, that's what I'm saying. In a perfect world, I think you're looking at it that way. Yeah. But I mean, they're going to be catching the feelings. It's not you and them catching the feelings. I mean, for my own self, at 4th grade, I went to go drop off a big old Hershey kiss to a girl. So again, that's what I'm saying. In a perfect world. Yeah. But no, you're not going to be able to stop their feelings.
No, you can't. And that's the thing. Like, that's another thing. You can't deprive them from what they're feeling, because you know, we still want to be able to allow them to feel, right? Because we don't want to neglect them of their feelings. So going back to the, like, okay, maybe I would, because it depends how, like going back to what you said the other day, that it depends how they carry themselves. So, you know, let's say you try to you brought them up con buenos modales, which we will. I feel like we will if we ever do have kids. I feel que sí les vamos a dar buenos modales. And then let's say that even if we say like, no, you can't date, regardless, they're, again, going back to they have their feelings. They want to love. We're only human. So we're meant to love, and they're going to try to do it behind our back anyway.
Behind your back.
I did it behind my back.
Porque I'm going to be probably okay with it. So
yeah. I mean, we're going to have to be on the same page. No, regardless, like we're going to have to be on the same page. But I feel like it's just, I know.
Regardless of, like, no, you can't, because it's like you're saying regardless, but it's not like you had an open relationship with your dad more than your mom. You'll pick one. So like for me, if the kid or the girl wants to date, you know, and I'm okay with it, well, they're going to probably open more up to me instead of you, because you're putting a little bit of restriction to it. Okay. Well, you mentioned the parents. Now you mentioned the parents. I feel like I'm moving on too fast, but I'm like, because it's just bringing me just my thoughts, you know, just ideas. So, you know, let's say whether you let them date or not. Now, let's say that you find out that your child is dating, right? Without you even knowing. So how are we
How do you feel like you're going to approach the situation?
At that time, it's almost like an obvious, even though they don't say anything about it. So
They're all in love.
I don't really know how to really, give you an answer onto that, because I'd rather have my kid to be like open about it. And maybe I'm not gonna say I would not tease them, but I didn't like to get teased, so I wouldn't like to do that. I would feel more comfortable for them to come up to me and tell, oh, look, I have a girlfriend, and then just talk to them about whatever needs to be talked to them at that time.
And I like that you brought that up about them feeling comfortable and being open to come and tell you these things, right? Because you don't want to just find out from who knows who, because you would rather, and that's essentially, that's the goal. Like you want to be able to create their relationship with them where they feel open enough to come up to you and share these things with you without having to like, oh, I need to go hide and because they're not okay with it. I guess in that part, okay, well, after saying that, in that case, maybe, I will be okay with it, with them dating young, because you want them to, you want them to I guess not do, because is there really a right way to do things? I guess there are good and bad things, and you want to be able to teach them and guide them.
Yeah, and I think more of like what you're looking at it on your perspective, maybe is like you're gonna be able to have a talk to them if, let's say, so-and-so is coming around more, or you see them more around your little girl, your boy, right? You're going to be like, you're going to start questioning yourself and be like, I think there's something going on here. So depending what you want to talk to them about, whatever, as you as a parent, you will. Yeah. If it's, I don't know, kissing or as being respectful, it just really depends on that time. And again, depending how they carry themselves, that's probably what I said, that is because you should probably try and help them and guide them more, but it all depends on them.
I think the way that I would try to approach it is because dating is going to be something probably new to them, right? Like if it's the first time they're going to be dating someone, they're excited about it because of course, they're going to have a little boyfriend, a girlfriend. They're going to the problem in my mind in that age, it's like, that you're probably going to be holding hands, probably kissing. But, I would start off with like, okay, I like that, I know that you're dating someone, but pretty much starting with asking them, what is it that you're looking for in dating? You get what I mean? Like trying to pick their brain. Like, what's your intention with wanting to date? What is it that you look for? Is it only because, it's because I like him, or it's because I like her, or, or what do they know about dating? You know what I mean?
I get what you mean, but that's something new for me. So I would have to see how it goes about. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, for me, I'm just trying to like, I always get stuck with like, okay, what if like, I want to be ready. I want to be able to plan like, okay, what if this happens? Like I need to research and be knowledgeable of on how I can support my child in the sense of like educating them about certain things. Okay. So what I'm trying to get at as to like trying to find out what they know or what they're curious about, because, again, they're going through puberty. They're going through all of these changes. They're going through emotional, they're going through so much emotionally, physically, mentally. There's just so much that they're going through. And I feel like it's important to, once they tell us like, okay, this is what I know, this is what I'm trying to go for. And then then probably introduce like the birds and the bees. Do you think like that's a good time to start talking about the birds and the bees?
Like around that age, or you're talking when they start having a boyfriend or girlfriend?
I would say like once you start noticing like there's already changes coming up. Do you feel like that's
I would say you're right, but I think the school system, what I remember from my time is the school system already kind of briefly talk to them about it.
Yeah.
And as long as, the parents give consent and give that permission slip. So when they're teaching you about you going through puberty, they do touch some of these things.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, that's enough. I'm not saying it is or isn't. It really just depends on them and what is really their relationship. Is it moving to a year, 9 months? Is it only for a week, 2 weeks? I mean, you cannot really move too quickly either because you're putting pressure on them on something that they're not even probably thinking about yet.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like, okay, when is like a good time to start talking about those things? Like when you had your sex ed class, was it sex ed or was it just just like puberty? Just puberty. Yeah. Same thing with me. Like it was just puberty. It was about, periods and tampons and this and that, but it was never, I never had sex ed class. Did you?
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you this. Like I can't really remember if it was then, in middle school, or sophomore or freshman that we were talking a little bit more about it in biology.
In biology?
Yeah, so I don't want to confuse, I don't want to say something that maybe it happened in freshman or sophomore and not in middle school. But I think that was the beginning of noticing this. And plus maybe me seeing people pregnant in middle school, so I knew something of that about that nature. But again, it depends. It depends on the time and the way the school is.
See, it's so crazy because like right now that you said that there was some girls that were pregnant in middle school, I'm like, I was so naive. I mean, I feel like we were kind of like my parents kind of sheltered us, or they weren't. I guess they weren't really open with us, and which is totally fine, right? Because they probably just didn't know how to approach the situation. Other than that, no, you can't have a boyfriend porque no vas a salir panzona, and it's just like I don't know what the heck that meant. I mean, all I knew is that you can't have a boyfriend but I never knew like how the babies were made, and to top it off, I went to a private school for high school, so there was no sex ed there, so. I think the first time I knew like how babies were made or whatever was probably when I was like towards the end of high school.
So there you go. There's not really a good time. You cannot say that because I guess it just depends. Don't know how that child of yours is reacting or how fast they've grown or how fast are they grown. Yeah.
So there's really no, like you can try to plan as much as you can, and I guess maybe it just depends on, like you said, I guess it just depends on like how you see your child. Like once you see them growing, I think you'll be like, okay, now I know it's time. Comment down below, parents, comment down below when you've had, like if you've had that conversation with your child, or when you feel like, okay, like when you feel like it's a good time to have that conversation with your kids, or if you think that, because maybe some parents will probably go the route of like, oh, well, you know what? The school got it. Like they'll be able to take care of it because they probably don't feel like they have the knowledge to be able to support their kids in that aspect. Or maybe they just don't feel comfortable doing it.
Honestly, I think that's a little bit on the older time though. I think for our generations already, like we know more of it. And obviously because our parents didn't teach us and they were being overprotected a little, and I honestly feel like the way you're going about it, you're trying to be that overprotective parent kind of.
It's because I'm trying. I mean, of course, I want to be I don't want to be overprotective. I want to be able to prepare. Well, not prepare. I want to be prepared for when the time comes, and just give any knowledge that I have to be able to teach my child. And again, same thing. Like I can say words, say anything to them. But at the end of the day, they're going to do whatever it is that they want. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. They're all going to make whatever choices that they want. And as parents, unfortunately, like not unfortunately, there's just only so much that you can do. Porque ya cuando salen de la puerta, you can't control, even when they're in the house, like you can't really control. But I mean, that's something that I want to do, set expectations. Like if they go out dating, set curfew. Like, is there going to be a curfew? Like, do you feel like we need to set a curfew? I mean, we have to, right? Because if you're a minor, I think the curfew here is 10 p.m.
Probably.
Yeah. So it makes sense to set expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But like what expectations should be set? But then it brings it back to what you said, that it just depends on how they carry themselves and how, I guess it's complicated. I'm like, parents, comment down below. I'm like, if you guys are going through this right now where your kids are going out dating, like what are some like challenges that you feel like that I want to know, like what challenges they're going through, or what are some successes that they're going through? Because I'm like, I want to know. I really, really want to know.
Well, you're gonna learn when you have your own. That's what I can say.
And it's all different. All of the kids are different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and earlier you had mentioned that, like I don't want to tease them. So why did you feel like you didn't want to tease them?
Because it's something I didn't like to get from anybody.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I saw that, if you tease them, it's going to make them feel like they're like, I feel that that's going to like kind of like tarnish the bond.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to tarnish the bond that you have with them. And it's not, all of this work that you've done that, they came up to you. If they came up to you and said, hey, I'm dating someone, it's because they trust you and because they're open to have these discussions with you, and you start making fun of them. And I feel like that's just going to take them back, which I'm guilty of. I'm guilty of it, because even I think to one of my cousins, I was like, ooh, like, who's your girlfriend? Like, who is it? And then when I read that, I was just like, dang.
You messed up the bond.
I did. And I did, because I'm pretty sure if I would have been a little bit more supportive, I was like, oh, cool. Like, what's her name? Or, what do you guys, I don't know. I feel like if I would have done a different approach, maybe he probably would have wanted to tell me a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't even talk about it, because I was probably like, ooh, then the next time that I ask him about it, it's going to be like the same thing. So.
He's like, I'm not going to bring my girlfriend around her.
I know, but I mean, and then after that, like, let's say that they're dating now, it's the breakup. Like how, like, that's another thing. Parents, comment down below. Has your child dealt with breakups, and how do you deal with the breakups? Your teenagers dating. How do you support your child with that breakup? Because again, being mindful that those are real feelings. Like they are feeling already, and they're actually going through that breakup. So like how? Like, do we have to put them in therapy, or is it going to be like, oh, well, I'll just go on to the next one? How about you? Like, let's say that your child breaks up.
It all depends. You're overthinking about it.
I'm an overthinker.
You're overthinking about it because you don't know if it was a 2-week. Again, a lot of the times when it's a full-on breakup, maybe your first love or your first real relationship. But being a week, being a 2-week, a month, I don't really think you have that much of, harsh feelings like that. I don't know. Just from my experience, I don't really think so. I think it has to be more of a little bit longer, or, or maybe like he say yes, but then the next tape was no, you're not really it. You know, again, it's just depending on the situation.
But I did see, because again, and these are all just tips that you can probably try. But then again, it's going to depend on everyone. But one of the things that I did see is that, when your child is going through a breakup, it's better for you to just listen to them, que se desahoguen, rather than, because to me, what I try to do is just like try to say things to like make them feel better. So what I read is that to listen rather than tell. Because I don't know if you find like cuando I think, yeah, usually like when somebody's going through some hard stuff, like I try to like, no, like you are like, I try to like uplift them because the last thing that I want for them is to be hurting. So that's one of them. Another thing that I saw that you can do to support your child during the breakup is by keeping them busy. Right. And then it might be, again, it's all just going to depend on a case to case scenario because let's say that your child doesn't have any extracurricular activities. Maybe just finding something that they like to do. Maybe like what's something that you think that a teenager would want to do?
Play video games.
Maybe you can sit down and play video games, which you should probably already be doing, right? Like as bonding time, like, oh, let's go play a video game, or let's go, to the batting cages, something that that they would like, just to like get them out of that funk, which they're young and we hope that they'll get over it. And that's another thing that I did see, to not dismiss their feelings. We're like, it's not to tell them like, it's just, it doesn't really matter. Like, it was just a little relationship, because again, they're still feeling, they're still human. So they're whatever, like, let's say even as an adult, like if you experience heartbreak, they're experiencing it the same way. Maybe, I don't know. I've never experienced a heartbreak. Have I? Have you?
That's why it's difficult for me to kind of agree with you, because it all depends on the relationship you have. It's not like, I feel like this book or whatever you're reading is giving you a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that bond with your kid, it's not gonna, whatever you're researching, it's or whatever knowledge you have is not gonna help at the end of the day. Because what you just said, like instead of teasing them and try to give them comfort about, like playing around, meaning not comfort, but yes, comfort, but instead of you being like, oh, it's just, it's nothing important right now in middle school. But what if your kid doesn't even say that to you?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I didn't have that bond, so I wasn't going to go up to my parents and tell them, oh, I'm in a breakup. So, no, like I'd rather deal with myself. And plus, I didn't as well. It wasn't that my parents were like, oh, are you broken heart? Because it was gonna be weird if they did that too. So I'm thankful they didn't, and it was more like they let me just deal with it. And if I really wanted to talk to them about it, I would. But honestly, no, because I didn't have the bond.
No, I get it. No, and what I'm reading, it's not a guidebook. It's more of like, hey, look, this is what you can do. Give it a try. If you're in that situation. And, and there's a whole list of things that you can do to be able to support your child whenever they're going through that. Because again, like Lupita mentioned, Lupita and Anna mentioned in the episode of how to raise a high achiever or overachiever, they were saying that you're their support system. You're their number one support system. And the way that you guide them and teach them, and the way that you handle certain situations, it's going to affect how they deal with things in the long run. Because they're expunging everything that we are teaching them. Like everything pretty much everything that they do, they will learn from home. Of course, certain things they will pick up from everywhere else, but todo empieza en la casa.
You're good. I'm not trying to bring your thinking down. It's just, I think for me, I'm just gonna deal with it when it comes to about it.
Yeah, and you are like that.
To see how I have that relationship with my kid, because I feel like if I try to do things, they're just gonna shut down again on me too, because they're gonna be like, this doesn't let me learn, doesn't let me like try to figure it out. And, if I really have a question, I will go up to her and ask her, because like what if you say something to them that wasn't even in their mind? And they're already like, you're giving me information that I don't even need.
That you don't even need right now.
Yeah.
I know.
They could be so independent.
Yeah.
You know, and
they can.
You're over here overwhelming them on something that for them it could be so little.
Yeah.
But for you, you're making it a bigger deal than what it is. And for them, they're like, oh, like, you know, let me live a little here.
Yeah. And you're right. And that's the thing that I'm just an overthinker. And you're probably gonna have to remind me again, like, hey, remember what we said in the podcast?
The bad thing is not gonna be me. The first person is gonna actually teach you that, and it's probably not gonna be on the nicest way. It's gonna be your kid, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, like, I messed up, and you know, probably you're probably gonna talk to me about it, and I'm gonna be like, well, you know. Just let him do his thing first, and he'll come up to us and let us probably teach him a thing or two.
I need to remind myself. No, and that's true, you know, and when the time does come, you know, because again, we don't know what their personality is going to be like, but you know, when the time comes, then that's when we can talk about it.
Yeah. That's again, give your little, you know, everything you've learned, or you say that you have learned, bring it out. But it's almost like,
it's kind of pointless right now.
The way that I can put it in an example is you go to school to learn something, but when you get out in the real world, all you learn, you use like 20% of it only.
Yeah.
When you're there, you're actually learning new things and the way to do the actual job. So that's how I just see it. If you're overwhelming me on situations or things that you're overthinking about it, like, no, like... easy, like, there.
Relax. Enjoy your life right now. You're not there yet.
It's not that it's important. It might look minimal, but I think it will be a bigger help. Like dancing, you know, those dances in middle school, like teaching them how to dance, or, you know, open them up how to dance. That's building confidence, and they're able to go and join themselves and just do it. Or be the cheer of the crowd. It's like, damn, you got the moves, you know? But there's other things. It's like, they'll learn with it.
They will. We meaning as a family, as a kid, we will all learn together. Es que yo soy una acelerada, man.
Yeah, but you wouldn't like that. Like, you know, the dances, you don't think those were the most important things in middle school? Oh, are you going to a dance? Are you going? Like, yeah, if you teach the kid how to dance, you know, he's going to be learning these other things and maturing.
One step at a time. One step at a time. But yeah, Lenchito, we're going to be great parents. As best as we can be.
We will try.
We will be as best as we can be. Yes.
You know, something that I was thinking about, and almost like your sister situation, like putting them in different things or just doing different things as a family. Yeah. As simple as
So you like that? You like that she puts her in her daughter in like different activities?
It all depends as well, because we got to see what he likes. We have to throw a lot of things and see what he likes and try to move in the area more. Like we can say, you know, we've done little puzzles here and there. We enjoyed it, but still show them the puzzle, see how they react, make it more difficult maybe with those 1,000 ones, 1,500 ones, and just see that. Or see the sports, or see, you know, spelling bee. Again, it's just, you just got to throw a lot of stuff to them and see what they actually want to do. Yeah.
No, that's right. And that's what I freaking love, that what Lupita's doing with Lupi, because everything that, like she said, like everything that she's done, everything that she's put her in, she's loved it. And she's always wanting to try something different all the time. Like that girl has done, like, she's lived life a little bit more, way more than what I have done in my 32 years. And that's, I mean, that, you know, bow down to you, sister, on that. So
again, like, yes, kudos to your sister, putting them on different aspects of
what? Just different extracurricular activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
But could it be overwhelming for them as well?
Yes, it can be overwhelming, but as a parent, Lupita, she does a really good job at I mean, like you heard, like their communication has gotten a lot more better. And I do see that her daughter is open and comfortable to expressing, is open and comfortable to going up to her and expressing how she feels. Like she does not hold back. And my sister doesn't shut her down. Because again, they've learned how to communicate. So if there's something that she doesn't like, she will tell her. She will not hold back. Like I was going to say her name. If you know her, like she will not hold back. Like she'll speak her mind.
But what if one kid won't do that? A certain kid wouldn't do that. Like that, I feel like sometimes it will be overwhelming. And I'm saying this vice versa as well, because there is some parents that like they want to make this their kid the athlete that they wanted to be, you know. And I feel like sometimes it's again backing off. Like yes, for example, you know, I love basketball. I have even bought a little what's it called? You know, with the whole aquas. What did I buy for them?
The aquas.
Yeah, the little 3 months or newborn outfit already.
Okay.
Right? And it has to do with basketball.
Yeah.
But it's more like, you know, I could show them to it, but I got to see if they like it before I start pushing them onto it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And even if they won't speak out, I mean, it sucks because if they don't speak out, you'll at least be able to see that they're not interested in it anymore. Because you can tell if somebody is really into, like, let's say a sport. They will be excited to go. Maybe there'll be some days where they're not too into it, but you'll be able to tell if they're not into it. And then that's why you step in, like if, you know.
So how do you tell what sport to actually move on?
Move on to? Just like Lupita's doing, just putting them in different sports to see what they like. And maybe sports isn't their thing. Or maybe, you know, because there's just so many sports that they can try out. Or it can be anything. Like you can try putting them in like there's music. Maybe they can be a musician, or maybe they want to be an artist. You know, maybe les gusta pintar. So maybe putting them in different things. And that's what Lupita's doing. She's put her in physical sports, and she's put her in, you know, music. She's singing in the choir. Right now she's doing choir. You know, there's just so many other things that you can do. You know, the world is full of possibilities.
And I understand that, but for me, I just see it a little bit more difficult because if we don't have a parent that stays at home, I don't really see that being that open of a margin for them. Because, you know, the time that you have, it's cut short. So you have to pick one or the other, or do one year, and then the next year do another one. And again, I'm saying for me, like I was trying to get more like, for example, I like basketball. Let's say you like softball because that's something you used to play, right? So we don't fight about it. It's simple as like I could put a basketball and I could put a softball. So are we going to make it easy? Like if he picks up the basketball, the softball, is that the first sport we're going to try and put him in?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's kind of like hideous almost like, oh, well, I think he likes this because he picked up the ball. But I think that's a good way to go on that route. Now, if I wanted for them to be like if I wanted to be that parent and be like, I want him to be the superstar that I wasn't, well, I'm not going to be like that, but I know there has been some situations that they have been like that, and I want to show you a video. You know, because that excitement that you give them when they're doing the sport, you are making a bond, but then I think you forget that you don't really know if they really like that because that's their sport they like, or because that's the bond that they know that you have at that certain time.
And I feel like that'll affect them though. But maybe I won't get too much into it until after I watch the video.
Affect them. It will affect them, but we don't realize it at that moment.
Because I feel it's kind of like, yes, let's say that they do have a bond, but like I feel like it's going to create kind of like not tension. I don't know how to
And
describe it, but
tension.
yeah, I guess like tension because it's just like I feel like that, like parents who are like that, where there's just like, no, a huevo, you have to do the sport, even if you don't want to do the sport, because I want you to be a star. Like, I want you to like you said, like, because I wasn't able to do it. So now you're going to have to do it type of thing. And that's just like, oh, like, I feel like that'll create such a like mental, just like in the future, or even like, I feel like that's just.
But let me throw you this side now. And I know you're not gonna like it, but this is the point. Let's say this is a sport we don't play, but you say that you don't want them to do football, but they're passionate about it. How can you stop that?
I'm not gonna stop it.
Exactly, but you're gonna be having that conflict.
No, because I feel like I'm a very supportive person. Like, if it's something that you want to do, then I'm gonna be for you. I'm not even, I mean, if I disagree with I do disagree with football because of the cases that they're having, especially because it affects your brain. And like, there's just been so many, like, football. I want to say football and anything that involves human contact. And it's not just like, just a light one, like, it's really, really bad. Like what happened with the case with, what's his name? Hernandez. What's his name?
Yeah, you're right, but that's I think you were standing on your word some months ago that you're like, no, they're not going to be on football. That's what I was trying to ask you. Like, so now you're giving in?
Like, if they're absolutely
no, it's not about absolutely. It's not about being absolutely. It's like they want to try it, and you have to let them try it, because what if that is a sport they love?
Yeah. I guess, like you said, it's going to be until the time comes. That's when I'm going to be okay. Well, here's the thing. Like, I know that see, it's because like it's my baby. Like, how many people have not died? And I don't know, but I get what you mean. I get where that's a hard question. Like, what if they absolutely love it? And like, I'm ripping away their what can possibly be their dream, right, like what they do.
The bond that you guys have in between each other. Okay,
no, I have a solution. I'm gonna be like, baby, I know you love football. How about you become a coach? Be a coach instead.
Honestly, I don't see that. Because you have to know something about the sport to be able to teach and be passionate to teach about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Esa sí está dura. That's fucking hard.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we could overwhelm them on sports. I think try to make it seem as you're having a bond time, but you're not. The child receives it that way, but then maybe you don't let them just do another sport. So then that it's not really a bond. It's more of like you're having a time, and you both of you have this time with each other. But when that's broken, when you guys don't come in conclusion about something, obviously you don't have a bond.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just have to support the baby. I mean, I have to. Because again, it's the same thing as it's the whole dating thing. No matter what, he or she's probably gonna try to do it behind my back.
And okay, before I show you this video, we're gonna something that's so randomly that happened to me today. You're gonna be like, what the hell?
What happened?
So, was I in the wrong for doing this?
Oh gosh,
and I'm not. And again, I'm not. It doesn't matter what you say to me. Because I didn't even do it intentionally to this, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, but I do have an opinion for it, because I should have been like...
Spit it out.
Meaning, like, I should have just kept my mouth shut. All right?
Oh, but Lenchito spoke out?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So, I went to go pick up something at Old Navy, and I was in line. At this time, I hadn't ate anything, so I'm over here in my phone, in line, looking... to somewhere to go or something to get to eat. There's like 3 people in front of me in line.
Yeah.
And, obviously the way that pasemos negocios, they put candies. You know how they're starting to enclose you with product on the sides and the line?
Ross is a pro at that.
Okay. There you go. For another example, I guess. So, I was over here looking. There was two people in front of me. On the third person, it was a lady with this little girl. I don't know how little she was, but she spoke very well. Okay. So I guess the little girl says, "Oh, I want some candy." So this parent was being nice, it wasn't a parent saying like, "Nah, not right now," or "I don't have money," or "There's some at home," right? So this parent was willing to get some candy. So the little girl was like telling her what kind of candy she wanted. All right. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, probably like 5 times. Y la mamá nomás dice, "Oh, this one. Oh, this one." And at this point in time, I'm like, you don't know what candy she's speaking about? Like, because you don't see it, or because you're just trying to not buy her that candy? But at this moment, I didn't think about it. It was more of like, maybe she didn't see it because the way, like, no, not this one. And she kept saying the same name. She like was picking up candies at the same time. But the candy was like over here in my area. So you're talking about, at least 6 feet apart. So I'm like, maybe she doesn't see it. So I pick up the candy, 1, because I was annoyed, and 2, because I wasn't sure and she didn't see it.
Oh my gosh.
So I pick it up and I was like, "Oh, maybe she's talking about this one." She's like, "Yeah,
The little girl?
No, the lady.
The lady?
Yeah. She's like, "Yeah." And she's like, she grabs it from me and and I was like, "Oh shit, I think I fucked up. I think she didn't want to give her that one." And then she was like, she picked it up and she, she grabbed my hand and she went like this and she was just like, and that's why I know that I was like, oh, she probably didn't want to give her the candy. And then, it took her 2 seconds after to say, "Oh, thank you." So that's when I knew I messed up.
You think so? What candy was it?
Yes, it was Airheads. It was a big old little, the strips of Airheads. And then the reason why I know it was for sure that she didn't want to give to her, she was like, "Oh, it's too much candy for you." So she knew all along where it was and everything. But like,
you were just trying to be helpful though.
Yeah, but like, so was I in the
irritated.
wrong? Yeah, was I in the wrong? I should just kept, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I should just kept my business to my own business and worry about it.
I don't know. Maybe that's what they say. Mind your own damn business. I'm surprised she didn't tell you. Mind your damn business.
With that face that she made, she pretty much did.
Probably.
I already knew. I was like, "Oh shoot, I messed up."
I know. Pues a veces metemos la pata cuando. I mean, you didn't do it in a bad way. So how are you supposed to know?
So who's in the wrong? None of us. And for me, I felt more like after this, hold on, after all of this happened, and after I noticed that she didn't want to give it to her because she was like, "Oh, it's too much candy for you." I was like, it was a nice thing that you're able to buy them a candy, but just say that, you can't have that one, instead of being like 5 times picking it up, showing them different candies, and they're still like, "No, I want this one. I want this one."
That's all I was going to say.
So I felt like she was on the wrong for that.
That's all I was going to say. Like, she should have just said, "No, not that one. You're taking this one." But see, then it's just like, it goes back to like, you're not giving them the choice.
I know. So she was on the wrong. And again, it's not a wrong or right. But I mean, in this little situation when I wasn't even really trying to be, in that situation, it just happened to be.
That's why mejor para la otra, we will mind our damn business.
So that's where it makes sense just to mind your own business sometimes, huh?
It does.
All right. But no harsh feelings for the lady. It was just more of like, lady, you should just say you didn't want to give it to her and that's it and stuff. Picking up 5 different candies and having the little girl crying for that candy that she actually wanted. So
the little girl was actually crying?
Not crying, but she like literally was like, "I want Airhead, I want Airheads, I want Airheads," and it was just
the little girl was saying, "I want Airheads," and you're like, "Oh, here are the Airheads."
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you mean. Like, de tanto de que andaba dice. There's nothing. I mean, I guess it's nothing bad.
This is the little situations that happen sin querer queriendo. Alrighty, well, let's move on to this video, and we're probably closing it off after this. Hopefully, we haven't bored you guys.
It's gonna be last one y nos vamos.
But this is basically what I mean with the whole being athletic situation, being an athlete. You know Mbappe?
Mbappe?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Where he goes. Like
No,
that?
that's Ronaldinho. Ronaldo.
No.
That's Ronaldo.
No, because I was seeing one of Santi's videos, and they go and he tells when he's giving out like Christmas presents to the kids in the hood, and he was like, "Do Mbappe," and the kid goes, he runs, he goes.
That's Ronaldo though. That's a Ronaldo move. But Mbappe probably does do it, but that's more Ronaldo.
Oh,
but Mbappe.
No, they do samba.
No, Mbappe is from French.
I know. I'm saying Ronaldo.
No, Ronaldo.
Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, CR7.
I was thinking Ronaldinho.
No, CR7.
Just kidding.
That's a CR7 move, the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think Mbappe probably does do it, but to put it in simple words, Mbappe, everybody should know them from the World Cup and just recently because he made a hat trick with Argentina.
He did what?
Hat trick. So he made 3 goals on Argentina to basically tie it up and go to penalties.
Okay.
So that's why everybody should know about Mbappe. So they're calling it the Mbappe Project. His dad is calling the Mbappe Project, and his 1-year-old is starting to kick the ball around and try to be a superstar of soccer.
A 1-year-old? Okay.
A 1-year-old. Probably,
I can see that.
Probably 18 months and younger. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. If you look at this video, you can see that they have a bond, but can it break if the kid is actually only doing it to spend time with his dad in the long run? Because right now he doesn't know this, right? But let's say in the long run, he's like, I don't really want to be doing this. I feel too much pressure. And the dad is really being supportive. But I just feel like it's
That's Mbappe's son.
No? This is called an Mbappe Project from a dad.
Just a random dad.
A random dad trying to have his son to be the next Mbappe.
A ver.
So, little kid. Sorry, I had to turn it a little because your screen thing. But look at the little kid. And he's a good dribbler.
I can't see it.
I'm trying to get... Look, and he's supporting him.
Keep it close. Speed up.
He's pretty good.
Let's go.
Everything that he tells him, he does
That's so cute. Oh, he's good though. You know, his little feet. It's so fucking cute.
And look at when he scores.
He's very encouraging with his son.
Close. Keep it close to your legs. Keep it close.
Okay, Dad. Look at him.
So again, this is where I feel like, is it too soon?
No.
1-year-old to do all this?
Clearly not.
I know, but then it becomes as like, is the kid really doing it because he wants to be the next soccer player, or he's doing it because he knows he's spending time with his dad? So it's almost like your question, what age is the right age for him to be dating? Or what is the right age for them to start actually putting them fully in one sport and focusing in that sport only?
I mean, sometimes if it's in the blood, like, or it just, you know, they're born to be athletes. Some people are just born to be athletes. Like my niece, man, she's gonna be something. I know she's gonna be something. My other sister was saying like that girl's gonna be something. Whether, you know, she's very athletic.
So no opinion on yours of like what age?
No,
starting them too soon.
I don't think so.
No,
because because with sports, there's a lot that comes with it. Like it's not like for example for soccer. For soccer, it's not just kicking of the ball. A sport comes with consistency. It comes with responsibility. So along with all of those things, he's already teaching his son, and his son is already starting to develop a lot of skills that not everybody develops at that age. So at his age, some kids are probably still learning how to like pick up a spoon, you know, but the dad is already helping him develop other skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here goes the overthinking situation, especially you. But you're not thinking about he's too young and his muscles haven't developed, his knees, his strength, all of this could get damaged because you're teaching them in a very young stage.
It can scientifically proven already?
Not scientifically proven. It's just it can happen. It's like no está maduro todavía.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for me, I grew up in a very fast pace, so my muscles will cramp up on me and I wasn't able to get up a bed.
Mm-hmm.
So like technically speaking, this can happen. But you saw the little kid. He kicks that ball pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yes, you might be helping him, but what if you're ruining his muscle or you're ruining his knees by having him do these actions?
Well, I mean, by the way that this parent is doing, because it's a well-known project, right? Like, is that kid part of that project?
No, he's calling his dad is calling it Project Mbappe.
Oh, okay. But like, let's say if this parent is really, let's say supporting that let's say that the kid really wants to play the sport and go pro. So, the dad's going to try to do anything to make sure that he's getting taken care of physically or mentally or whatever by maybe giving them supplements or vitamins, therapy. Like for you, did you stretch? Like, did you do any stretches or anything?
Because nobody taught me that.
Exactly. So dad
thinking,
seems like he has.
But that's what you're assuming.
Yeah.
You're assuming because technically speaking, the only person that I know that did this one, actually a great athlete and one of the best athletes ever, the only person that has spent so much millions of dollars is LeBron James. And look at how long it took for somebody to actually make that the focus.
Yeah.
But you're talking about having money again. And those times you're not really paying attention to that. You're paying more of like, I need you to have a hard hit. I need you to have stamina. I need you to have that nice free throw, you know. I don't really think you're thinking about that. And plus, let's be real. A lot of us do not have health benefits. So what makes you think again, like, oh, my little kid's going to be in the best health. But if you don't look at these things that simple as that was probably not even, I think that was like probably a regular sized ball. It wasn't even a small ball for.
I think it was as big as a kid.
Exactly. So you see, why are you going to advance? He should be kicking a small ball, not that big old ball right now.
Yeah.
Because his muscles are not built yet.
Well, I mean, if you decide to do something like that, we'll have the knowledge. We know that knowing that there's certain things that can probably affect their developmental process. So then you being mindful of that, then you need to make sure that you're providing them with the necessary nutrients for them to be able to be successful and not damage. They're gonna get damaged no matter what.
Yeah,
there's always gonna be injuries.
That's why I said not until you're there, you're able to deal with it.
Yeah, because there's gonna be some things that you won't be able to prevent.
Exactly. I was that one person that would freaking twist my thumbs, roll my ankles. Para el siguiente día ya me iba a jugar because I love the sport. That's what I'm saying. I'm for sure not gonna kill that bond with my kid because I'm not letting him play a sport. Yeah. Because I know how difficult it is for me. So that's why I'm not crossing that line. For you,
please don't play football. Please don't play football. Please don't play football.
No, you're manifesting already for him to play football.
Okay, play football. Play football. Play football.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, it's all depending the way you see it. It's cool. I mean, if this little kid gets to be the next project, good. But for me, I'm still having an open mind and being like, if that's a sport that he doesn't want to do, at the end of the day, in a couple years, I'm not going to keep on pushing him to do it.
Same.
Or I'm going to be able to show him other things. If he wants to be the new Diego Rivera as the painter, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that either.
If she wants to... I was going to say something stupid. But those we keep it between us.
Okay. So
but yeah, just be open. I guess we'll close it off with that. Just being open with what your kid wants to do, not what you want to do. Because you already lived your life. If you want to play, if you want to do something that you feel you didn't fulfill when you were younger, then maybe try doing it. It's sometimes it's not too late. You know, look out for your kids. That's like, if you had your kids, look out for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have them, it's not the whole the Matilda. I'm right, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Let your kids live.
Yeah, Margarita.
Meanie.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, hopefully we do get some comments, some situations that actual parents have went through. It'd be nice to learn from them.
Yeah. Now I'm just like, dang, we should have had a parent here.
All right, we'll close it up.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for clicking. And if you made it this far, les voy a regalar un gran abrazo.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and... Okay.
And don't forget that you're able to listen to us in Spotify and Apple Music as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, go subscribe.
Yes, yes. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Así es, nos vemos al rato.
Bye.